Missouri State. Lane 18, Coach Aaron Nathan, Overland Park, Blue Valley North. Down to lane 21, Coach Richard Hodges in Hayes. Lane 22, Coach Larry Rogers in Kansas City Tournament. Lane 23, Coach Roy McCoy in Chanute. Lane 24, Coach Amy Hill in Olathe East. Lane 27, Coach Gary Hogan in Garden City. Lane 28, Coach Mariah Neff at Lansing. Lane 29, Coach Brooklyn Zip, Topeka Washburn Rural. And lane 30, Coach Karen Stolman Henderson, Overland Park, Blue Valley Northwest. At this time, we will have our national anthem. The flag is in the southwest corner. Please remove your hats. And performing the national anthem is Seaman High School senior Serenity Gas.
You see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last bright stars through the perilous fight. Over the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
This tournament is sponsored by the members of schools in Kansas and through the Kansas State High School Activity Association. 20 teams have qualified for regional tournaments held the week of November 10th. Competition today will consist of 6 major games for participating teams. Final key results will determine the scores of the 6 major games. The top 3 teams will receive trophies and medals. Appropriate sportsmanship and conduct is expected by players, coaches, and fans. Noise makers are not allowed. Spectators with cell phones are asked to have them on silent, and only callers and
Hello and good afternoon, sports fans, and welcome. Welcome to Championship Tuesday here in the Heartland. We are coming to you live from West Ridge Lanes and Family Fun Center in beautiful Topeka for this battle royale between some of the top teams in Kansas. These Unified Bowlers have crisscrossed Kansas this morning, coming in from Liberal to Lansing, from Hayes into Chanute. Nearly 100 of the top Unified Bowlers and their peers are here today to showcase the skills they've been developing for months and sometimes years, all in an effort to bring home a state championship to their respective school communities. We'll be here for all the action over the next 60 or so minutes, and we're so glad you're joining us as well. For those of you new to Unified Bowling, well, the best way that I can describe what you're about to see can be summed up in 2 words: amazingly awesome. Throughout the broadcast, we'll get into a little bit more detail on the rules and details of UB, but for now, let's get right to the format. These athletes will be using what's called the Baker format today, which essentially means first, 4th, 7th, and 10th frames are going to be bowled by the peer partner, and I'll explain what the peer partner is in a little while. And then the 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 6th, 8th, and 9th frames are being bowled by the athletes. There's some nuance to that as well, but again, we'll get into that as the afternoon progresses. What you will see for certain are some of the most genuine and heartfelt smiles, high fives, foot stomps, and hugs that you're ever going to see in athletic competition, but that's not all, not by a long shot. Hey, guess what? You're also going to see some fantastic bowlers showcasing their skills, efforts culminating in a trip to the state tournament right here in the capital city. And based on what I've seen so far in warm-ups, David Trimble, we're about to see bowlers that have some fantastic skills and quite frankly could beat us.
Oh, I definitely think that they could beat us for sure. And yeah, we're looking, when I was looking at the regionals, I mean, we had some scores getting up into the thousands, 900, thousands. So I am definitely thinking we are in for a treat today.
Well, we're going to be here all afternoon long, all the strikes, all the spares, because you know what? We're live here at Topeka for the 2025 State Unified Bowling Championships, and I am all fired up right now. All of the athletes and their peers are taking about 5 to 10 minutes, and they're going through the warm-ups, as you can see on the screen. Now, throughout the competition, we'll kind of flash the different lane assignments. So if you're looking for your respective team, and maybe it's a little bit hard with the dark lighting here in a bowling alley to pick out exactly where they are, you'll be able to kind of follow the action based on the numbers on the screen. Now, total today, we have 20 teams represented from schools all across Kansas. And when we say crisscross, we're from each corner of this state, David Trimble.
And I think we're going to have to give the award for furthest for Liberal. Those of you not familiar with where Liberal is, it is about as far south and west as you can get in Kansas.
Out there by Ulysses, Kansas. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I would say that not only is it standing room only, but I think they might even have to be kind of putting some auxiliary seats down in the arcade right now to accommodate all the onlookers here. Most of the bowlers that you will see, this is either their first or second year as a Unified Bowler, but we do have a handful that, talking with them, David, right before the action started here, this is their 4th trip to the state tournament. And boy, they are fired up as well.
And it's fantastic. The Unified Bowling started here in Kansas 5 years ago. So, yeah, some of those that have been here all of the years. It is fantastic organization, everybody that puts it on. Thank you for hosting our venue here, Topeka West Ridge, excuse me.
Easy for you to say. And I'm glad you brought up the history of Unified Bowling in Kansas, because we would really be remiss if we didn't mention the legendary, now retired athletic director from Shawnee Mission South. And, of course, as you being a graduate of Shawnee Mission South, nothing greater than being a
Raider.
That's right. Shout out to head coach Bruce Bove. We'll be seeing you in a few weeks. But the former director at Shawnee Mission South, Dr. John Johnson, he was an integral part of bringing Unified Bowling to the forefront here in Kansas, really to give these athletes an opportunity really to compete in activities many of their classmates do. They have practices, they have meets, matches, games, and all the other events not exclusive to non-intellectually challenged athletes. And boy, is it an experience. All of those of us here, as well as all of you watching from at home across Kansas, and we're hearing that there are people from outside of Kansas that are tuning in to see what all the buzz is about here this afternoon in Topeka at, as David said, West Ridge Lanes, a great host for us here for the 2025 Unified Bowling Championships. Well, David, I'd say we're about 4 or 5 minutes away from getting underway. We're going to take a quick break and kind of reset things. So two of us here, there will be some times that we'll just allow you to kind of enjoy the ping and the pong of those bowling pins being struck by the bowling ball as we kind of race around and adjust cameras and the like, and hopefully have a couple of interviews for you of the dignitaries that are here today. But for right now, we'll be back right after this. Live in Topeka, we're live at West Ridge Lanes for the 2025 Kansas Unified Bowling Championships. Well, certainly mentioned it during the pre-match portion of the broadcast here that you're going to hear a lot of claps, a lot of hoots, a lot of hollers, and we're certainly getting our share of those here early on. I would say we are about, how many frames in? Maybe about halfway through the first game. And as they rotate through between the Piers and the Bowlers, I would say most of the lanes right now are at about the same position. You're probably wondering, well, who all is here bowling for the respective schools here at Park Lanes, or excuse me, West Ridge. Good grief. Here in Topeka, I can tell you that a team right down the road, Junior Blues out of Washburn Rural, they brought their squad up here again, led by head coach Brooklyn Sipp. And her, along with Coach Steve Peoples, has brought Brecken Garrett. He's a 11th grader, and he's one of the peers, as is Parker Dixon, and he's a senior. He was a regional team member back in 22, a regional state team member in 23 and 24. Now he gets to celebrate as a senior, being part of a state championship team for the Junior Blues. Dane Bartley, only a freshman. This is his first year, obviously, as a bowler. Connor, I think it's Seanlaw, Connor Seanlaw. He is a senior athlete, and he's one of the bowlers here. He's part of the regional team since 2022, regional and state team members in 23 and 24. Gentry Scheid, part of the regional and state team back in 24, and again this year in 25. Back in 2021, the first year for Unified Bowling in Kansas, Washburn Rural placed 7th with a score of 741. In 23, they placed 14th, and in 24, last year, they placed 9th with a score of 786. I'm just going to quote a little something that Coach Shipp shared with me. She said, and I quote, "Our partners listed above began their bowling journeys as unified partners, and it blossomed into a very successful bowling career for them both. Washburn Rural has participated in unified bowling since it first began 5 years ago." Now, for those of you not familiar with the peer versus the bowler role here, in simple terms, the athletes that have the intellectual disabilities and the challenges are joined by one of their classmates who are referred to as their peers or their partners. Different coaches call it, that role a little bit different. But yes, the bowlers are referred to as the bowlers, and the peers, their assistants, are going to be referred to as the partners of the peers throughout the afternoon. So how about I tell you about a team out of Kansas City Metro, and that would be Olathe East. And the coach at Olathe East is Coach Amy Hill, and she brings a whole host of bowlers and their peers. Wyatt Smith, Nick Walters, Andrew Lindsay. You got a couple of managers, Jesse Gray and Zoe McMullen. And one of the bowlers, Tim, Shim Fossil, I believe it is. Shim Fossil out of Olathe East. She said that an exciting fact about the Olathe East Unified Sports Program is that, and I quote, "We were just recognized nationally as an ESPN honor roll squad for our commitment to creating an inclusive school community for all students." How about that, Olathe East? Well done. I'd like to hear a little bit more about that. Well, another team from the Blue Valley area up in the Kansas City Metro, Blue Valley North. And Coach Aaron Nathan brings the squad in, led by Josiah Van Wy. He was rolling out the ceremonial first ball today. And the other two athletes for the Mustangs, Boston Preston and Abby Genrich. The peers with him today are Eli Nathan and Jake Williams. Erin tells me that she's been the Blue Valley North United bowling coach from the very beginning. She says that they've made it to state all 4 years, but she's also doing double duty. She's a varsity coaches or bowling team's coach, and she's in her 15th year. I'd say she knows a thing or two about bowling. But Lawrence Free State, led by Coach Aaron McDonald Campbell. Lawrence Free State brought in Thomas Futrell, Aiden Toms, Chloe Himker, and Megan Kosteritz. Unified team at Lawrence Free State has been around for 3 years. They've been to state every year. They place 15th and 20 and 23 and 24. And they're optimistic that they'll improve on that yet this year. They said they weren't expecting a lot, but all the bowlers seem to really, as the season went on that they really blossomed and kind of came into their own, and they are unexpectedly regional champs. So congratulations, Fibers out of Lawrence Free State. My good friend and partner, David Trimble, mentioned earlier, one of the squads with the longest trip today out of Liberal, Kansas. I'm going to say it's about a 4.5 hour trek all the way up here to the capital city. They had to get up before breakfast, but they brought one of the top teams into the tournament this year, led by Logan Aspley, Tanner Denoyer, Joshua Talley, Zach Monk, and Sergio Sosa. Now, one thing about Liberal, in order to find another team to compete against, or even a venue that will hold the events out in that part of the state, they usually have to drive up between 2 and 2.5 hours to find a meet that their athletes can participate in. Head coach Andrew Potter says that the team does a lot of other activities and sports together, and they also have a team dinner every week, and he says a big shout out to the parents. Historically, Liberal has been very strong. In 23, they were the runner-ups. In 24, they finished in third place. In 2025, they were the regional champions, and who knows what they're going to do here, but they're off to a good start here at the state championships of 2025 here in Topeka. Had an opportunity to visit with this next team for the Turner Bears, the Golden Bears of Turner High. Just outside of Kansas City, Kansas, just south and across the bridge, across the river into Turner. Led by Coach Don Diaz. And Don shared a lot of information about their partners and their athletes, the bowlers that are going to be here today. And first thing I'm going to tell you about their athletes. Terrence McDonald, well, he's here. He's a senior. This is Terrence's second season with Unified Bowling. Before joining the team, Terrence had never bowled before, but he has continued to improve each week and is becoming steadily more consistent. Terrence is also a natural leader in his classroom. He's responsible, focused, and someone that his peers look up to. Cameron Earnhardt, she's a junior. He is a junior. Cameron is in his first year of both bowling and participating in Unified. He brings a genuinely positive energy into everything he does, including encouraging others, uplifting the team spirit, and embracing every challenge with enthusiasm. J.J. Austin, he's a sophomore, and according to Coach Diaz, he's extremely friendly and outgoing, and I can confirm that. I had a great conversation with J.J. before things got started. She goes on to say that he's truly one of the kindest students you'll ever meet. His enthusiasm, sportsmanship, and joy for being part of the team make him a standout presence. Turner High School began its Unified Bowling program back in the 24-25 school year, and the support from staff, families, and our entire student body has grown tremendously, according to Coach Diaz. Unified Sports has allowed our athletes and peers to develop strong relationships, practice leadership, and build confidence on and off the lanes. And speaking of those two peers for Turner, Michael Montgomery, he's a junior. He's been competing for nearly 2 years. He originally began bowling with his father and has grown into an exceptional peer partner. Michael is kind, warm, patient, and an outstanding mentor to all of our athletes. Well done. How about the Ravens out of Olathe Northwest? Head coach Dominic Fluis brings in Brody Christensen and Fisher Crowder. And Brody and Fisher's partners, peers, are Colton Marks, Micah Jenkins, and Leah Doherty. Coach Fluis says that, now wait a second. This is news to me. This just in. Dominique is the daughter of John Johnson, who played a crucial role in starting Unified Bowling through KSHSAA. Dominique goes on to say that Northwest has participated in Unified Bowling since it started 5 years ago. The last 4 years, including this year, they qualified for state, and last year they were regional champs. And Dominique adds, we have grown year over year with a number of partners who want to participate. The kids absolutely love bowling and what it represents. And we certainly love having them here at the state tournament as well. Shawnee Mission Northwest, the Cougars are in attendance. And their members, starting with Brendan Bennett. He is a junior athlete. Wyatt Terrell is a sophomore athlete. Ithan Rodriguez Pina. How about that, Rodriguez? Did I do that right? He's only a freshman. Nicholas Sharp, he's one of the peers. He is a senior this year. And Gus Sterling, he is a peer as well, and he is a junior. Lillian Christie, also a junior, is the student manager. And she, Justin Peterson, I should say, when I asked him about, kind of some unique stories or history with the team in Unified Bowling, he goes on to say the Brooklyn Peck, Shawnee Mission Northwest alumni and previous Unified Bowling partner, is a freshman bowling for the Ottawa Braves bowling team. How about that? And he ends with saying that Shawnee Mission Northwest started its Unified Bowling program with the inaugural season in 2021. Debbie Jenkins and Justin Peterson have been coaches for all 5 seasons. Said they've qualified for state for the 5 season. Debbie Jenkins serves as the head coach for the other unified sports at Shawnee Mission Northwest, which include unified basketball, unified bocce, unified soccer, and unified track and field. Justin Peterson is also the assistant bowling coach for the winter bowling season. And Shawnee Mission Northwest has been a verified Special Olympics unified champion school since 2019. How about those Cougars of Shawnee Mission Northwest? How about Baldwin High? Shout out to Gary Stevenas, the longtime athletic director over there. I think he recently retired. Hope all is well with Gary. I can tell you that Baldwin has a rich history with unified sports, and I heard from head coach Lori Markley. She's also the speech language pathologist out of Baldwin City. And I'm just going to kind of read exactly what she shared with me, and it's a couple of paragraphs long. She said, "This is very exciting unified sports on the internet." She said that the athletes are extremely excited to be able to go home and watch their participation here today and watch it many times in the coming months and years, I'm sure, and we're certainly glad to be a part of that. She said that she's been an assistant coach for the Baldwin Unified team since its inception in 21. She said that at that time, our amazing transition coordinator, Sheila Vandertwig, came to me and asked if I would be interested in helping out if she started a unified team. And of course, I said yes, does Lori Markley say. Continue with what Lori added here in just a second after I look up and kind of see where we are in the frames. And it looks like we are now well on to 1, 2, 3, our 4th frame. So we're at about the halfway point right now. Halfway point. And how do you not love that? Not only are the athletes and their peers celebrating, but so many people here as well. And it's like a few other sports, and one of those being swim and dive. I'm fortunate enough to participate in those championships on an annual basis. And one thing I always say about swim and dive is it's such a unique atmosphere. Everybody is, part of the pond, but, swimming in the same direction. And that's the same with these folks here. Everybody's cheering on each other. There's nobody throwing a fit at a bad call or officiating or anything like that. They're just here to have fun. They're here to offer an encouraging clap, a hug, just a good old hoorah out to the bowlers in the lanes right now. And I know they appreciate it as well, because when they turn around and they see all the fans sitting behind them with their hands in the air, that is something absolutely magical to see. And talk about heartwarming. So we welcome back in David Trimble here, and he's giving me some late-breaking information. Oh, we have an attendance number here, an unofficial attendance number here at West Ridge Lanes. And I don't know if the fire marshal should really hear this, David Trimble, but unofficially we are at 1,212. 1,212 people here in attendance. That is a remarkable number for the 25 KSHSAA Unified Bowling Championships. But I'm going to continue on with what Coach Lori Markley out of Baldwin City shared about her team. She said that they recruit both athlete and partner bowlers, and after a little bit of effort, they were up and running for the first time. But she did say in the first few years it was kind of tough sledding, but they focused on building participation in the program and just getting the word out that Unified was up and going in Baldwin. She said that they didn't have many experienced bowlers, but encouraged students to at least give it a try, participate, to have fun with each other, and learn about the new sport. She continues, at our first few regional tournaments, we placed in the bottom few teams, but we didn't mind because our students were having fun. Number one right there. Got to have good, safe fun. Developing relationships and learning to love bowling. Since then, our bowlers have become more experienced and have gained a sense of competition. Not only do they want to have fun and hang out together, but they figured out that it's pretty darn funny to compete and do well. She said last year they missed out making it to state by only one place. The top 5 teams that go to state, well, and they play 6. But this year, we knew we had a chance, she says, and we made it. The students and coaches really wanted it to happen, and we did it. We pulled it off, and we placed 5th at regionals, securing a spot at state. Lori Markley goes on to say that our school has been very supportive in the week since qualifying for state, congratulating us on our district and school social media, as well as organizing a city district-wide send-off. She said that the students are so excited, as well as the coaches, parents, and those associated with the team. Since 2021, Sheila has retired, and this year, Ann DeWitt has taken over as head coach, and she has been absolutely amazing, says Lori. Unified is such an awesome experience, and seeing the relationships, camaraderie, fun, and competitive spirit that have come about with this program in the past 5 years has been a wonderful and rewarding ride. It is truly special and a meaningful experience for so many involved. Lori says, go Bulldogs. And we have, as a reminder, we have 20 teams here from across the state. A number of those teams I've been able to share some more detailed information about the team itself and more specifically about some of the athletes and their peers. But to finish up Baldwin's team information, first for the 3 athletes, Connor Hughes, only a sophomore, Kaya Lansness, she's a senior, and Nathan Hill, he's a freshman that Coach Markley says has a lot of potential. And the 2 partners, Lane Gosser, he's a sophomore, and Kaylin Hill, also a sophomore, down in Baldwin. Shawnee Mission East has a rich history here at the Unified Bowling State Championships. First, I'm going to tell you about their 3 athletes, Jacob Stiles, Tristan Ogun, and Gabe Burton. And we've got strikes galore. Like Shohei Ohtani's out here pitching on the mound. But this is bowling right down the middle. What a sight to behold it is. A lot of these athletes may not have the same velocities to release it as some others, so you kind of have a buildup. And you have the anticipation, and the ball gets a little bit closer to the pins. And it sneaks up, and it caresses just the outside of that front pin, and they start to fall over. And by that time, they know it's going to be a strike. Hands in the air, the pins are down, and how exciting it is to be a part of it from afar. And I'm sure you sharing some of those emotions, too. Well, for Shawnee Mission East, the partners that help these fantastic athletes are Jake Smith and Raleigh Schroyer out of Shawnee Mission East, the Lancers, well represented. And in talking to Cheryl Kaplan, the share coordinator at Shawnee Mission East and also the head coach, she says, and I quote, our team loves warming up before tournament. She said they do arm and leg stretches together, and then we all put our hands in the middle and yell Lancers on the count of 3. Cheryl has been a coach for Unified Bowling for all 5 years. And she said in that time, Shawnee Mission East has gone to state for 4 out of those 5 years. They've been regional champs twice, and get this, state champs back in 2022. Can they put another championship trophy in the trophy case? Well, we're going to tell you here in about, I'd say about a half hour to 35 minutes. Blue Valley Northwest, led by Coach Karen Stroman Henderson. She says, and I quote, Blue Valley Northwest has participated since the beginning of Unified Bowling in 21. She said that they've made it to state 2 other times back in 22 and 23. They had 3 unified teams this year with 6 athletes and 7 peer bowlers. The team representing the school this year at the state tournament include athletes Alan Lee, he's a senior, Alex Goodwin, and the peer bowlers Larson Kinkler and Zach Reeves, both seniors, and also Noah Reeves for Blue Valley Northwest High. Some more hoots and hollering. How about Topeka Seaman? Ashley Womack leads their squad, and she brings in a couple of athletes today, Tara Duffy and Hunter Poulter out of Seaman High, and their partners, Claire LeDuc, Leah Crawford, Reese Hoover. And I asked Ashley, any unique stories about your history with UB? She said, and I quote, Tara's one of our first athletes to compete unified bowling all 4 years of her high school career. She said it's been special to see her grow and develop as a bowler and as a person. She said that Topeka Seaman has participated in Unified since it was first created here in Kansas back in 21. And the first state tournament, Seaman got second place. Since then, she says, we've gone on to the state tournament for the 5 years. Amazing how they can fit in over 1,000 people here. Fantastic. They have some overflow rooms in, also known as the arcade, and place for some liquid libations. It's afraid they're going to have to start turning people away, but somehow they're able to sardine everybody in here at the West Ridge Lanes and Family Fun Center, so appropriately named for the events that's taking place this afternoon. Having a lot of fun watching these bowlers. Having fun watching the bowlers have fun. Some of those bowlers that are having fun are straight out of Lansing High. They would be Lions. And I would be lying if I said they weren't having fun. I can also tell you that the athletes that they brought today, senior Titus Adebi, senior Carson Meadows, along with their partner, sophomore Peyton Beeman, she's a junior, Jason Ganale, a junior, and Cooper Pierce. Student manager and the athlete alternate is senior Jeremiah Jenkins. Mariah Neff and Nick Black are the two coaches for the Lions. Mariah adds that Lansing has been participating in UB since it started in 21. Our 3 senior athletes have been part of the Lansing Unified Bowling Team their entire high school career. They placed 5th in 21, 9th in 22, 13th in 23, and in 25, well, stick around and find out. As the bowlers are still letting her loose on the hardwood. Olathe East, mentioned them earlier, but I didn't have an opportunity to tell you a little bit more about the National Unified Champion School that ESPN recognized Olathe East as. Now, for those of you that are watching online, and it looks like there are quite a few from you, we don't have the ability to see exactly where everybody is, but based on the people that are coming up and the text that I'm getting, I know that we have some people that are much farther away than even Liberal in parts. Let's see, we have one from Boulder, Colorado, and just north of Sacramento, California. So hello to the Californians, hello to the Coloradoans that are joining us here this afternoon on 18 Varsity as we bring you the 2025 KSHSAA Unified Bowling Championships. The Owls of Olathe West are here. Brandon Hinton is a bowler. Oh boy. Arham Saad, I believe it is a bowler. And their peers are Landon Martini and Corbin Hardman. Caden South is the manager and Logan South is a helper sub. According to Coach Carey, she said that the favorite memory the boys have this season is challenging each other with their spares. She said that if they miss them, they would end up doing 5 push-ups each time. Another one is thinking that they didn't make it to state until it was announced. I see another memory. Sure, didn't know that they were going to make it to the state tournament, but the looks of shock and excitement on their faces is one that she will certainly never forget. According to Coach Corey out of Olathe West, she said that they've made it to state every year since Unified Bowling has been a thing here in Kansas. Each team every year surprises with their determination to get better each week and grow. Fantastic. I thought they were getting a little bit buff as they walked in, all broad shoulders. They, after doing all those push-ups or mission spares, maybe I ought to get my man David Trimble to have a contest like that with me. But next year, we'll be all ripped. Baser Linwood, the Bobcats of Baser, represented here in Topeka for the 2025 Unified Bowling Championships. Tell you a little bit about the squad here, and according to Coach Kelly, she says that the team this year, Jeffrey Eisman, who's senior, Theo Phillips Jr., Ethan Dalton Jr. Jeffrey and Theo were members of the regional state team last year as well. Ethan was part of Unified last season, but he was unable to finish the season. All three have very good attitudes, support one another, and are extremely coachable. They are all students in good standing as well. As David Trimble walks by, tell me I'm number one. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. I think you're pretty great, too. David Nahara out of Basel Linwood was a a member last year with his sister Ollie. This is the first time being part of the state regional team for David. Bodie Fiesel is also new to the state regional team. Both Bodie and David are members of the Basel Linwood winter bowling team. She said that their assistant coach's daughter, Riley Tinder, was a founding member of the Unified Sports Program. Coach Tinder and I have coached together for the last 5 years, according to Coach Kelly. Amy, Kelly, too many papers? I don't know. David just looks at me like I know what I'm talking about, which I probably don't. But anyway, as Coach Kelly goes on, she says that this is their third year at attending the state tournament. They said they have great peer involvement, and during this year's senior night, they had several staff members attend to watch the last home meet of the year. She says that Unified Sports is very rewarding and fun. Seeing the smiles on everyone's faces makes it all worthwhile, and they also love the student involvement. And there we go. So as I stand up to look around, how are you doing? Good to see you. Turner Bears athletic director, Dr. Supple, coming up and give us a high five. She gave me a high five. She didn't give me the number one like you did, Dave. I don't know what that's about. She likes me 5 times as much, apparently. So I'm going to take my headset off just for a little while and let you enjoy the natural sounds of what's going on here. And the rest of my voice that's clearly going through puberty or finding some allergies. We'll be back. And welcome back. A little update for you if you're watching on A10 Varsity YouTube. Notice that Drew Johnson, my man, has pointed out that Liberal, in fact, is not 4.5 hours away. Well, it is when David Trimble is driving, because he goes like about out of you-know-where. But no, Drew Johnson points out that Liberal is about 6.5 hours away. So I just asked David Trimble, I said, well, what time did he have to leave in order to get here to peak in time? David said last Monday, and I don't think that's right, but that's how he does math. But thanks for pointing that out, Drew Johnson. Liberal is, in fact, 6.5 hours away. Just goes to show the remarkable effort and the dedication that not only the athletes have, but also the coaches and the administrators and so many that are a part of making an event like this happen, and quite frankly, throughout the entire season for these Unified Bowlers. And we'll be back. As I mentioned in the warm-up, the athletes here today are using the Baker format, which essentially means that the first, fourth, seventh, and 10th frames are bowled by the peer partner, and the second, third, fifth, sixth, eighth, and 9 are bowled by the 2 athletes. Now, substitutions can be made during the match, or I think it's in between games, with an athlete replacing another athlete and a partner replacing another partner. But once a partner is removed from the game, they may not re-enter that specific game. Matches will consist of 6 games, with a total of all games bowled today as the team score. And obviously the highest total pinfall is declared the winner. Now, in the case of a tie where the pinfall is even and there are no tie-breaking protocols, so there will be potentially co-champs, but we haven't had to address that yet in the past several years, the past 5 years, so, but who knows. Now, some other information about these teams that are here. There were 4 regional sites across Kansas that produced 5 squads from each regional. There was one out of Campus High, one out of Lawrence, one out of Blue Valley Northwest, and also one out of Shawnee Mission Northwest. Now, those 5 that advanced from each regional, the scores range from 1043. That was from Liberal, 1,043 pins, to the lower end of Basel Linwood, 636. So to give you an idea of just kind of the wide range of qualifiers and what those qualifications were based on the regional they came out of. For instance, the Campus High Regional, where Campus came out in 5th, they were able to tally 814 pins. Now, one thing that I failed to mention earlier, there were not just one, but there were 4 ceremonial first ball throwers, or rollers, if you will. One was from Liberal High School, Logan Apsley. Aiden Toms out of Free State in Lawrence, Josiah Van Wy out of Blue Valley North, and Gabriel Burton out of Shawnee Mission East. Each did the ceremonial first ball. Now, out of Campus High, that I just mentioned a couple of times, head coach Emily Pritchard, assisted by assistant coach Peyton Montgomery, brings in 5 students from Campus High. Juan Pablo Sanchez Soto, he's a senior. Merrick Briley is a senior. Kelly Petrie is a freshman. Caitlin Clough, another senior. And Riley Emerson, also a senior. As we near the end, I think we're getting pretty darn close. Most of these, look, I can tell you this. When I go bowling, maybe I'm in one lane and a friend is in the other, and I'm not a real good bowler. It takes me a little bit longer. They'll be like in the 9th or 10th frame, and here I am like at 4. Well, not these bowlers. They're a heck of a lot more qualified and capable than I am at bowling for certain. And most of these, as I look up at the scoreboards, they're pretty much right on line with one another. I think the widest spread that I can see is between the 4th frame and the 8th frame right now. I think in lane 22 right in front of us, as mentioned earlier, Dr. Alex Supple is here representing her Turner Bears, the Golden Bears of Turner High. Looks like they finished up their 5th game. Back in 2021, Eisenhower out of Goddard were your state champions. Shawnee Mission East won it back in 22. Garden City won it in 23, and Great Bend wins it in 24. So outside of Shawnee Mission East, think about Goddard, Eisenhower, Great Bend, Garden City. They are not short treks up here to Topeka. But last year's top score by Great Bend to win the title, 1,110 pins. Hayes had 945 and Liberal with 936 were your top 3. And all the way back in 21, there were 29 schools that participated. There were 3 regionals, and the top 5 from each regional went on to state. That was hosted by Shawnee Mission South, At Mission Bowl in Olathe back in 22-23 school year, there were 40 schools that participated across 3 regionals. As I mentioned, that was held in Topeka, not here, but at Gage Bowl, about a mile or so back into the east. The 23-24 school year had 49 schools, another market improvement. Participation, 4 regionals for the first time, 5 qualifying teams from each regional. That was held right here at West Ridge Lanes. 1 year ago, the number was 53 schools across Kansas participated. So how about that? In a 5-year span, Unified Bowling has gone from 29 and has exploded in popularity to 53 last year, and would you know it, 5 more this year. 58 schools across the state, still with 4 regionals, but talk already about adding another regional next year. 23-24, Topeka Seaman High was the host. Last year was Wash Rural, and then Seaman High again this year. Athletic director, great man, Travis Brown. If I see him, might bring him in and bend his ear a little bit, but he always does a great job of running the show here. A little bowling trivia for you. You know, the bowling lanes are 60 feet long and are traditionally made from exactly 39 strips of wood. 60 feet long, 39 strips of wood. Today, that there are some lanes that are built with kind of this synthetic wood, but sugar maple and pine are the traditional woods of choice. So there you go. Throw that out at your next family gathering. Now, you're probably wondering, what is the maximum number of holes allowed in a bowling ball? So how many holes can you have? Well, there is a maximum. That number is 12. You can have a dozen holes. Now, I would think that that would impact, you know, the not only their dynamics, but just being able to negotiate those 39 strips of pine without running into, I don't know, little bumps and little thumps. Not really sure. David Trimble just asked me how tall a bowling pin is, and I told him it is 15 inches. He didn't think that was right, so he's down there right now, diving into the back room with a tape measure to tell us whether or not I'm telling him a fib or if I'm being truthful. And I am being truthful, by the way. Do you know that getting a turkey is after getting 3 strikes in a row? Gobble, gobble, gobble. But do you know what a golden turkey is? David Trimble, he looks at me perplexed. He says 6, and you would be wrong. It would be 9. 9 strikes in a row is a golden turkey. Appropriate for this time of year. As a reminder, 1 week and 2 days from today, for our that enjoy little turkey and dressing for the holidays will be partaking. Another strike. Hayes Indians, talking about a play. Had a front row seat to them, or I kind of a back row seat, quite frankly, but in the perch here, there's some bowlers. These aren't just kids that said, yeah, you know, I think I'd like to have something to do. Let me try this unified bowling thing. No, that's not it at all. I mean, so many methodical approaches, bringing their own balls, they have their own shoes. This is a craft that they have worked on and honed over months and years in order to qualify for the state tournament. Big shout out to a couple of our sponsors today. Trimble Piano Moving out of West Shawnee, Kansas. You can find us at Trimble Piano Moving on the cheap. Calltoday.com. That's what he's trying to tell me. But the other great supporter of athletics here in Kansas and elsewhere, SiteWorks out of Lee Summit, Missouri in the Kansas City area. Also, a big thank you to Kansas Department of Transportation. It's never been quicker to start the zipper. Introducing the zipper merge. If you don't know what it is, ask your internet machine what the zipper merge is all about. The thing about the zipper merge that I've been trying to tell David Trimble is that if you're going to use the zipper merge, everybody has to know about it. Otherwise, you're going to have somebody that's trying to run you off the road. Hands in the air. We have Sarah Smith just walked by, one of the great KSHSAA administrators, and she's kind of in charge of the Unified Bowling event here at West Ridge Lanes, Topeka. Well, it is 2 o'clock according to my sundial, and it appears as though there's only about 5 lanes left. So they're going to be tallying the pinfalls here in the coming minutes, and I'll be able to bring you the trophy presentation as well. So while David's eating his french fries, I got to put my headset down, give you a break from my voice, and try to find out where the standings are right now. We'll be right back.
Viewership has been good. Yes. It's really cool though. So we need to kind of pause a little bit and let you guys get set up too. Yeah, I'll let
Hey.
says on the outside hop.
Get them all?
I think so. Where? Or they're doing right here like it was kind of last or 2 years ago.
Should be right in front of that page. So down 16, 17, 17, 18. That's what we're doing. Is that okay?
Hey, welcome back. After rearranging a couple of cameras here, we're getting ready for the awards ceremony that'll take place, as you can see, right underneath the, well, it won't be right underneath the red KSHSAA flag, but it will be within your, on the screen here in a little bit. I would say in about 5 minutes time, all of the games have wrapped up, and they are now tallying the pinfalls. Oh, do we have, yeah, I think that is it. Last one, just now, there it is. And it looks like he might have gotten a strike. How about that? Rather fitting in. So, we're going to wait for the trophy presentation. If you're joining us, certainly you want to be here when that is announced, because it is a spectacle. There's so much excitement and just raw emotion from these athletes, their peers, coaches, parents, communities. So that will happen, I would say, in about 5 minutes. So we'll take a quick break and we'll be back then.
Puta, no se mira desde acá. Puta, no se mira desde acá.
Ahorita a la escuela viendo cómo se la pasa viendo el teléfono.
Moments away from the awards presentation here at the 2025 KSHSAA United Unified Bowling Championships. Been a long day. Unified Bowling Championships. See Duca Seaman, Athletic Director Travis Brown there on the right side of the table. We've got a Sarah Smith over on the far left, just out of shot of the camera. I think I saw Bill Faflick, the Executive Director of KSHSAA, there as well. Jeremy Holiday here in attendance. Kind of a who's who of KSHSAA dignitaries. Rolled out the red carpet as they always do for these championship events, and this event is no different. You know, we have that unofficial attendance number, and I don't know, maybe since that time 5 people have left, but quite frankly, there's still a lot of people here waiting for the official results to be announced. A lot of anticipation. Some of these bowlers, these athletes kind of rubbing their hands together, and they're so excited, waiting for the announcement.
Senior high schools in Kansas and throughout through the Kansas State High School Athletic Activity Association. We'd now like to recognize the fighting team standing in 20th place with a score of 679.
20th.
Kansas City Turner.
Turner coming in 20th place. Congratulations to the Golden Bears.
In 19th place with a score of 696. Blue Valley North.
Blue Valley North, 696 pins.
In 18th place with a score of 708. Baldwin.
Baldwin, 708 pins.
In 17th place with 721 points, Seaman.
Topeka Seaman coming in at 17th.
In 16th place with a score of 721 points, Olathe West.
Olathe West, the Owls, with 721, and that's good for 16th place.
In 15th place with a score of 722, Blue Valley Northwest.
Blue Valley Northwest, 722.
In 14th with a score of 735, Lawrence Free State.
Hey, Free State out of Lawrence, 735. 14th place.
In 13th place with a score of 745,
Olathe
Olathe Northwest.
Northwest, the Ravens with 745.
In 12th place with a score of 748, Lansing.
Lansing, 3 pins better than Olathe Northwest. 748.
In 11th place with a score of 764, Shawnee Mission Northwest.
The Cougars out of Shawnee Mission Northwest. 764 pins.
In 10th place,
Now the top 10.
772, Washburn Rule.
The Junior Blues. They have nothing to be blue about. They got a top 10 finish. The 25 state tournament.
Place with a score of 790, Shawnee Mission East.
Shawnee Mission East, once again in the top 10. This year they're in 9th.
In 8th place with a score of 797, Baser Linwood.
The Bobcats of Baser Linwood coming in clutch, 797.
In 7th place with a score of 798, Hayesville Campus.
Campus High, 798, only 1 pin better than Baser.
In 6th place with a score of 810, Chanute.
And Chanute's 810 pins.
In 5th place with a score of 823,
Now your top 5. Olathe East. They were having a blast.
4th place with a score of 917, Garden City.
Garden City. Certainly a productive trip. 4th place.
The top 3 teams. When your school's name is called out, we like the participants and coach to come forward to the stand. In 3rd place, with a score of 1,013 points,
1,013. For Great Bend. A top 3 finish. 2025, the UB Championships.
Great Bend's coach is David Philbar. The bowlers are Peyton Edwards, Cassidy Huff, Kenyon Carr, Zoe Mayberry, and Tyler Belster.
There are the Panthers, your 3rd place finishing team. This year's Unified Bowling Championships with a score of 1,013 pins. Cleared Garden City by nearly 100.
In 2nd place, in a score of 1,092, Liberal. Team members Logan Apsley, Tanner Denoyer, Zachary Mock, Sergio Sosa, and Joshua Talbot.
And Liberal, your runners up for 2025. They're awaiting their medal presentation, the trophy as well. And Coach Andrew Potter and crew, assisted by Erica Arnold, Tristan Salazar as a manager. The Redskins making the 6.5-hour journey up here to Topeka today.
Yeah.
You're not going home empty-handed. And look at those smiles. Fantastic.
And your 2025 State Unified Bowling Champions with a score of 1,115, Hayes High School.
1,115 pins have fallen today for Hayes High. your 2025 state champion.
Benjamin Bergman, Ethan Kuhlman, Xander Clark, Henry Daughtry, Keaton Brown.
The Indians of Hayes High, and celebrate they are, and they certainly will. Going to make that long trek down 70 a little bit easier today. Head coach Richard Hodges now, and, well, he's somewhere in front of the somewhere in front of the man there with the camera. There we go. Look at those smiles.
Congratulations to all talented participants.
Hayes Indians, you are state champions. Benjamin Bergman, Ethan Kuhlman, Xander Clark, Cameron Doughty, and Keaton Brown. And let me tell you this, folks, there's only one senior on this roster, Benjamin Bergman. Future's certainly bright. Look out for the Indians in 2026. But for 2025, that's going to wrap up our coverage here today. Once again, your top three finishers, Great Bend in third, your runners-up, Liberal, and the Indians of Hayes High are your 2025 Kansas Unified Bowling State Champions. On behalf of my good friend and colleague, David Trimble, my name is Sean Brewer. Thanks for joining us here on A10 Varsity, A10Varsity.com. And until next year, good afternoon, everybody.